The massive alien ship hung over New York like a steel mountain in the sky. Its polished surface reflected the morning sun, casting strange shadows over the city below. Inside the United Nations building, Ambassador James Smith tried to maintain his composure as he faced the alien delegation for the first time. The aliens were impressive to look at. Each stood nearly 8 feet tall, their bodies covered in natural armor plates that shifted like living metal. Their ambassador, who called himself First Speaker, flexed his muscled arms as he looked down at the human delegation with 4 golden eyes. "And these are your strongest representatives?" First Speaker asked, his translator making his words sound like perfect English. He walked around the human delegation, studying them like insects in a jar. Such soft skin, such fragile bones. How do you even survive? Colonel Marcus stood at the back of the room, his weathered face showing no emotion. His simple black uniform had no special marks or medals, just the way he wanted it. While other military officers had come in full-dress uniform, he knew better than to draw attention to himself. "We manage quite well," Ambassador Smith replied calmly. "Humanity has survived and thrived on Earth for thousands of years." The alien delegation burst into laughter. Their deep, rumbling sounds echoed through the chamber. First Speaker picked up a steel paperweight from the conference table and crushed it in his hand like it was made of clay. "On our world, children play with stones harder than your strongest metals," he said, letting the crushed metal fall to the floor. "Your species would not survive a single day in our gravity." Other aliens in the delegation began showing off too. One jumped and touched the high ceiling with ease. Another bent a metal chair like it was made of rubber. Each demonstration was met with more laughter. Ambassador Smith felt his face grow hot, but he kept his diplomatic smile. "We're eager to learn from your advanced civilization," he said. "Earth hopes to join the galactic community as equals." Equals? First Speaker's translator made the word sound like a joke. "Perhaps as protected servants. Your bodies are too weak for anything else. We will need to supervise your colonies, your mining operations, your defense forces, for your own safety, of course." In the back of the room, Colonel Marcus touched the small communicator in his pocket. "Command, are you getting all this?" he whispered, too quiet for anyone to hear. "Affirmative, Colonel," came the soft reply in his earpiece. "Keeping Power Armor Division on standby. Project Steel Giant remains classified." The meeting went on for hours. The aliens presented their terms. They would protect Earth and its colonies in exchange for resources and labor. They showed videos of their mighty warships, their soldiers lifting massive weights, their workers operating heavy machinery with their bare hands. "See how efficient we are," First Speaker said proudly. "No clumsy machines needed, just natural strength and superior biology." Ambassador Smith looked at the documents in front of him. The aliens were practically demanding control of every human space colony and mining operation. Their protection was nothing but thinly veiled conquest. "We'll need time to consider these terms," Smith said carefully. "Our governments will want to review everything in detail." "Take all the time you need," First Speaker said with what passed for a smile on his alien face. "We know you have no choice. The weak must accept protection from the strong. It is the way of the universe." As the alien delegation left the chamber, Colonel Marcus sent one last message. "Initiate production phase Delta. Full power armor rollout for all colonial defense forces. They won't be laughing for long." The aliens had made a critical mistake. They thought human bodies were humanity's greatest weakness. They were about to learn that human bodies were just the foundation for something far more powerful. And unlike natural armor, human technology could always be upgraded. 3 months after first contact, life had changed dramatically at the Mars mining colony. Tom Reed wiped sweat from his forehead as he struggled with a heavy drill, watching an alien supervisor named Head Guard flex his natural armor plates in boredom. "Hurry up, soft one," Head Guard called out. "Even your primitive machines work faster than you." Tom bit his tongue and kept working. Around him, Other human miners faced similar treatment. The aliens had placed safety supervisors at every human facility, claiming they were there to prevent accidents. Everyone knew they were really there to control the colonies. In the corner of the mining tunnel, an alien worker carried 3 heavy crates by himself, deliberately showing off. The alien glanced at the humans using mechanical lifts and laughed. "Look at them struggling with their toys," he said to head guard. "Perhaps we should carry everything for them, like parents helping children." Tom's hands tightened on his drill. Under his mining uniform, a small device buzzed. It was a secure communicator, connecting him to Earth's defense network. As a former military officer, he had been secretly placed at the colony for this exact situation. "Status report," whispered a voice in his ear. It was Colonel Marcus. "They're getting bolder," Tom whispered back, pretending to cough to hide his words. "Alien presence increased by 30% this week. They're taking over key positions, claiming it's for efficiency." Back on Earth, Colonel Marcus stood in a hidden facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Around him, rows of massive metal shapes stood in darkness, waiting. Engineers worked quietly, making final adjustments to their secret weapons. "How much more can the miners take?" Marcus asked. "Not long," Tom replied. Yesterday they'd forced Jones to manually load heavy ore crates, saying he needed to toughen up. He broke his arm. They just laughed. "Hold position," Marcus ordered. "Just 2 more weeks. Project Steel Giant is almost ready." In the colony's medical bay, Dr. Linda Park treated another injured miner. The aliens had replaced all the mechanical lifting equipment with manual labor protocols to help humans build strength. The real result was a wave of injuries. "This has to stop," she muttered, wrapping a bandage around a miner's sprained wrist. "It will," the miner whispered back. Unknown to the aliens, Dr. Park was also part of Earth's hidden network, just not the way they expect. Outside the colony's main dome, alien ships landed daily, bringing more supervisors and taking away Earth's minerals. The aliens didn't even try to hide their contempt anymore. They pushed humans aside in corridors, took the best living quarters, and demanded immediate obedience to their orders. In the colony's command center, the original human administrator had been reduced to a deputy assistant to an alien overseer. The overseer lounged in the main control chair, his massive frame making the reinforced seat creak. "Your species' weakness is truly remarkable," the overseer said, watching security feeds of humans working. "How did you even reach Mars without our help?" Tom Reed finished his shift and walked to his small quarters. The aliens had given humans the smallest living spaces, claiming they didn't need much room due to their size. As he closed his door, his communicator buzzed again. "All agents, final update," Colonel Marcus's voice whispered. "Project Steel Giant deployment begins in 10 days. Maintain cover until the signal. When it comes, get to your designated points immediately." Tom looked at a small photo on his wall. It showed him in his old military uniform, standing next to something very large that had been blacked out. He smiled for the first time in weeks. The aliens had spent months mocking human weakness. They controlled the space stations, the mining colonies, and the shipping lanes. They thought they knew everything about humanity's capabilities. They had no idea what was coming. In the darkness of his room, Tom whispered, "Almost time to show them why humans learned to build machines in the first place." The red dust of Mars swirled outside the colony's main dome as more alien ships descended from the sky. Inside the colony's command center, the alien overseer stood up from his chair, his natural armor plates gleaming under the artificial lights. "Today is a historic day," he announced to the human workers. "The High Council has decided that Mars colony requires direct alien management. For your safety, of course." Tom Reed stood among the gathered humans, his face carefully blank. His hidden communicator buzzed against his chest. On its tiny screen, a single message flashed. "Steel Giant activated. 2 HOURs." The overseer continued his speech. Your primitive mining equipment will be replaced with our superior technology. Your weak bodies are clearly not suited for this work." He gestured to the massive alien ships landing outside. "These vessels carry our strongest workers. They will show you how real mining is done." In his hidden facility on Earth, Colonel Marcus watched live feeds from Mars colony. Around him, massive hangar doors were sliding open. The ground rumbled as heavy equipment moved into position. "All units, final check," he ordered. "Operation Steel Giant begins in 90 minutes." Back on Mars, alien troops began marching into the colony. They carried no weapons. They didn't think they needed any against humans. Their natural strength and armor were weapon enough, or so they believed. "Your human administrator positions are now dissolved," the overseer announced. "You will report directly to our work chiefs. Those who cannot keep up will be sent back to Earth." Dr. Linda Park watched from the medical bay as aliens began removing human equipment from the mining tunnels. Her hands shook as she checked her own secret communicator. The countdown timer was ticking. Suddenly, alarms blared through the colony. The overseer rushed to a monitor, his 4 eyes widening. "What is this?" he demanded. The deep shaft sensors show massive movement. Tom Reed stepped forward. "Probably just another cave-in," he said calmly. "Happens all the time with our primitive mining techniques." The overseer snarled. "Useless humans. Squad 3, check the deep tunnels. Show them how real workers handle problems." 6 large aliens marched toward the mining shaft. As they disappeared into the tunnel, Tom's communicator vibrated again. 60 minutes. In orbit around Mars, alien ships detected something strange. Multiple objects were approaching the planet at high speed, but they were too small to be ships. The alien commander dismissed them as debris. He was wrong. Back in the colony, the overseer was growing angry. Squad 3 hadn't reported back from the deep tunnel. "Squad 4, find them," he ordered. More aliens disappeared into the shaft. Tom Reed slowly backed away from the command center. Other hidden agents did the same, each moving to pre-planned positions. Dr. Park locked the medical bay doors. Through the colony's windows, strange lights could be seen falling from the sky. "Sir," an alien technician called out, "we're detecting power surges throughout the colony, and the human generators are all shut down." The overseer slammed his armored fist on a console. "Impossible. Their technology is too primitive for—" He never finished the sentence. The lights in the colony went out. In the darkness, Tom Reed smiled and pressed a button on his communicator. Deep in the mining tunnels, massive doors that had been disguised as solid rock began to slide open. The ground shook with heavy footsteps. "Warning," the colony's automated system announced. "Unknown entities detected in all sectors. Size category, extremely large. Power readings, off the scale." The emergency lights came on, casting red shadows everywhere. The alien overseer stared at his screens in disbelief. Something was coming up from the deep tunnels, something big. And high above Mars, the mysterious falling lights began to take shape. Hundreds of massive metal pods screaming down through the atmosphere, each carrying something that would change everything. The aliens had thought they knew all about human weakness. In exactly 1 minute, they would learn how wrong they were. Colonel Marcus's voice crackled over the hidden network. "All units, Steel Giant Protocol is now active. Show them what humanity can really do." The red emergency lights painted the Mars colony's command center in crimson shadows. The alien overseer stared at his screens, trying to understand what was happening. His 4 eyes blinked rapidly as massive shapes appeared on every monitor. From the deep mining tunnel came the sound of heavy footsteps. Not the quick steps of alien troops, but slow, thunderous impacts that shook dust from the ceiling. Boom, boom, boom. "What is that noise?" the overseer demanded. "Where are squads 3 and 4? His answer came in the form of a massive metal fist that punched through the tunnel entrance, making the reinforced walls crumble like paper. The aliens watched in shock as something emerged from the dust cloud, a towering suit of powered armor, 3 times taller than even the largest alien. Inside the armor's cockpit, Tom Reed grinned. The neural controls responded to his thoughts instantly, making the massive machine move like an extension of his own body. The aliens had spent months mocking human weakness. Now they would see what human engineering could do. Impossible. The overseer stepped back. Your species is too primitive for such technology. Tom's amplified voice boomed through the colony. You should have asked why we weak humans spent so much time building machines. The power armor's shoulder panel slid open, revealing rows of non-lethal shock weapons. Now you're going to learn. Through the colony's windows, more metal pods crashed down from the sky. Each one split open to reveal more powered armor suits. Their designs varied for different tasks. Some were built for combat, others for heavy lifting, all of them making the aliens' natural strength look tiny in comparison. Dr. Park emerged from the medical bay in her own suit, a specialized medical unit with built-in emergency response systems. The aliens who had laughed at her weak human hands now stared up at manipulator arms that could lift an entire shuttle. All units, activate containment protocols. Colonel Marcus's voice came through their comms. Minimal force. We're here to show strength, not start a war. The alien overseer tried to run. His powerful legs could normally carry him faster than any human, but he didn't get 3 steps before a power-armored hand gently picked him up like a toy. Let me show you how we really mine, Tom said, walking to the mineral processing center. With one hand, his suit lifted machinery that had taken 10 alien workers to move. With the other, he carefully set the overseer down among his shocked troops. All across Mars colony, similar scenes played out. Aliens who had bullied humans now found themselves looking up at 3-story suits of powered armor. Workers who they had mocked as weak were now lifting entire mining rigs by themselves. In orbit, the alien ships faced a new kind of human vessel, space-worthy power armor suits that dwarfed their patrol craft. The suits formed a protective ring around Mars, their weapons inactive but very visible. This is Colonel Marcus to all alien forces. The transmission went out on all frequencies. As you can see, humanity doesn't need protection. What we need is respect. I suggest we renegotiate our relationship. The overseer, his armor plates trembling slightly, activated his communicator. High Command, we may have made a mistake about the humans. Tom's power armor knelt down, bringing his cockpit level with the overseer's eyes. The clear armor plate slid back, showing his very human, very satisfied smile. Would you like me to show you how to operate our primitive machinery properly? I promise to speak slowly and use small words. Around him, more power armor suits emerged from hidden bays and storage areas. The aliens finally understood. Every mining tunnel, every storage room, every primitive human facility had been built extra large for a reason. Humanity had been preparing for this moment since before first contact. In his command suit, Colonel Marcus opened a channel to Earth. Operation Steel Giant is a success. The aliens have seen our power armor. And for the first time since they arrived, they'd stopped laughing. News of the Mars colony revelation spread through alien communication networks like wildfire. On Earth's moon base, alien guards watched in disbelief as their video feeds showed massive powered armor suits taking control of Mars. They didn't have long to watch. The ground beneath them began to shake. Multiple contacts emerging. An alien sensor operator shouted, coming up from the lunar surface. The moon's dust scattered as huge metal hands burst from hidden underground hangars. Power armor suits, painted in lunar gray and white, rose from concealed bases across the moon's surface. Each suit was specially designed for low-gravity operations, moving with a grace that made the aliens' natural agility seem clumsy. Colonel Marcus's voice echoed through all frequencies. All Earth forces, Operation Steel Giant is now in full effect. Reclaim our colonies. Show them real strength. On Venus Research Station, Alien supervisors rushed to their ships as human power armor suits emerged from broken storage units and malfunctioning airlocks. The suit's cooling systems easily handled Venus's harsh conditions, while alien natural armor began to buckle under the heat. "Please remain calm," Dr. Park's voice came through her suit's speakers as she secured the Venus medical facility. "Your species may be naturally strong, but you'll find our engineering stronger." The alien overseer who had mocked human weakness now stared up at her 4-story medical response unit. Its arms could perform microsurgery or lift a spacecraft. "How long?" he asked. "How long have you hidden these?" "Since before you arrived," she replied, using a precision manipulator to carefully move alien patients to safety. "We learned long ago that tools beat natural strength every time." In the asteroid belt mining operations, Tom Reed led a squadron of specialized space mining suits. Their built-in propulsion systems let them move between asteroids faster than any alien ship. Each suit could break up and process asteroids that had taken alien crews weeks to handle. "Remember," Tom transmitted to his squad, "we're showing strength, not starting a war. Disable their ship's engines only. No weapons fire unless fired upon." The aliens had thought their ships were the peak of space technology. Now they watched as human power armor suits easily caught up with their fastest vessels, gently brought them to a stop, and shut down their engines with precise electromagnetic pulses. Back on Mars, the original overseer sat in what had been his command center, watching screens showing similar scenes playing out across the solar system. Every human colony and facility was revealing its hidden strength. "Why?" he asked Tom. "Why pretend to be weak for so long?" Tom's power armor knelt down, servos whirring smoothly. "We needed to know your intentions," he explained. "Would you treat weaker species with respect, or try to dominate them? You made your choice pretty clear." In Earth orbit, Colonel Marcus directed operations from his command suit. The massive unit sensors tracked every alien ship in the system. Most weren't even trying to fight. They had seen what the power armor could do. "Attention all alien forces," Marcus broadcast. "Your ships are now under our control. We will provide safe passage back to your territories, but the era of protecting humanity is over." A transmission came in from the Alien High Council. Their arrogant tone was gone, replaced by something that sounded almost like fear. "We request immediate diplomatic negotiations." Marcus smiled inside his suit. "Of course. Ambassador Smith will meet with you shortly." And this time, he looked down at Earth, where more power armor units were rising from hidden bases. "This time we'll negotiate as equals." The aliens had thought they understood human weakness. They had thought natural strength and armor made them superior. But as they watched power armor suits secure every human facility in the solar system, they learned an important lesson. Never mistake kindness for weakness. Never mistake patience for inability. And never ever underestimate humanity's ability to build bigger, better tools. In just 24 hours, the balance of power in the solar system had completely shifted. And it had shifted because the aliens had made one simple mistake. They had laughed at the very thing that made humans strong. Their drive to overcome their limitations through ingenuity and technology. The Alien High Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Smith walked in. Not in his usual diplomatic suit, but wearing a sleek ceremonial power armor painted in Earth's colors. The massive machine moved with perfect grace, each step precisely controlled despite its enormous size. The first speaker, who had once crushed a steel paperweight to mock human weakness, now sat very still in his elevated chair. "Honorable Council," Smith's voice came through the armor speakers, clear and confident. "Shall we discuss new terms for our relationship?" Behind him, Colonel Marcus and Tom Reed stood in their own power armor suits. The chamber's high ceiling, once designed to make humans feel small, now barely contained the towering machines. "You deceived us," first speaker said, his translator struggling to hide his shaken tone. Smith's power armor shifted slightly, the movement smooth as silk. "No, We simply waited to see how you would treat those you thought were weaker than you. Your actions revealed your true nature. The massive screens around the chamber showed feeds from across the solar system. Human power armor units efficiently running mining operations that had once needed dozens of alien workers. Medical suits performing complex procedures with incredible precision. Construction units building in space without need for ships or scaffolding. Your technology. Another council member spoke up. How did you develop it in secret? The same way we've always survived, Smith replied. By turning our weaknesses into strengths. You saw our bodies as a limitation. We saw them as inspiration to build something better. Dr. Park's image appeared on one screen, her medical power armor treating both human and alien patients on Venus. Your natural armor is impressive, her voice came through. But it can't be upgraded. It can't be improved. Our power armor evolves with our needs. The council members shifted uncomfortably. Their own natural advantages, which had seemed so superior just days ago, suddenly felt limited. What are your demands? First speaker asked quietly. Smith's power armor knelt down, bringing his cockpit level with the council table. The front plate slid back, showing his face. Calm, but determined. First, all alien forces will withdraw from human colonies immediately, he said. Second, you will acknowledge humanity as full equals in the galactic community. Third, he smiled slightly. We will share our power armor technology with any species that proves they will use it responsibly. Shocked murmurs filled the chamber. The aliens had expected revenge, not an offer to share technology. Share it. First speaker's 4 eyes blinked in confusion. After how we treated you. Colonel Marcus stepped forward, his massive command suit making the floor tremble. Strength isn't about dominating others, he said. It's about lifting everyone up. Something you could have learned if you bothered to really understand humans. Tom Reed's mining suit projected images of the new reality. Human power armor units helping alien ships in distress, protecting vulnerable colonies from space debris, making dangerous mining operations safer for all species. We don't want to rule, Smith continued. We want to cooperate. But cooperation requires respect, something we now trust you've learned. The council chamber erupted in discussion. Some members argued for rejecting the terms, but they fell silent when more feeds showed the sheer number of power armor units now active in the solar system. First speaker stood slowly. We acknowledge humanity as equals, he said, and we formally request to learn from you. Not just about your technology, but about how you think. How you turn weakness into strength. Smith's smile widened as he sealed his armor's cockpit. Lesson 1. Never judge a species by their natural limitations. Judge them by how they overcome those limitations. The council session ended with the signing of new treaties. As the human delegation left in their power armor, first speaker turned to his advisors. We thought we were teaching them about strength, he said quietly. Instead, they taught us about power and wisdom. Human power armor units across the solar system received the news with quiet pride. They had won not just through strength, but through patience, planning, and the very human trait of turning problems into solutions. The aliens had laughed at human bodies. They would never make that mistake again. 6 months after the power armor revelation, the Mars Colony Training Facility buzzed with unusual activity. Tom Reed stood in his instructor's suit, watching as alien students tried to master their first steps in human-designed power armor. Remember, he called out to the class, the neural interface responds to intention, not muscle. Don't fight the suit. Work with it. An alien trainee, the son of the former overseer, wobbled slightly in his training armor. But we're naturally stronger, he said, confusion in his voice. Shouldn't we use that strength? Tom's suit walked over, each step precise and controlled. That's what your father thought. But watch this. He directed his suit to lift an enormous mining drill with just 2 fingers. Perfect control beats raw strength every time. In orbit above Venus, Dr. Park supervised a joint human-alien medical team. Their power armor suits worked in perfect sync, performing delicate repairs on a damaged solar sail. The aliens' natural strength combined with human engineering had created something entirely new. "Careful with those membrane sections," Park instructed through the comm. "Your suits can amplify your precision just as much as your strength." An alien medical officer, working in a specialized surgical suit, nodded in agreement. "We thought our natural armor was the peak of evolution," she said. "We never imagined machines could be so elegant." Back on Earth, Colonel Marcus stood in the expanded training headquarters, addressing a mixed group of human and alien military leaders. Behind him, rows of next-generation power armor suits stood ready, each one designed to complement different alien physiologies. "The first generation of power armor was built to prove a point," Marcus explained. "This new generation is built to work together. Each suit enhances the natural abilities of its pilot while compensating for their weaknesses." Ambassador Smith, attending via hologram from the Galactic Council, added his thoughts. "Our greatest strength was never our bodies or our machines. It was our ability to adapt, to innovate, and to share what we learned." The alien first speaker, now a strong advocate for human-alien cooperation, walked the training ground in his own diplomatic power armor. The sight of such a proud species willingly learning from humans still surprised many. "My people once thought humans needed protection," he announced to the gathered crowd. "Now we understand. True strength isn't about dominating others. It's about finding ways to work together." In the asteroid belt, joint mining operations showed the new reality. Human power armor designs combined with alien natural abilities made the work faster and safer than either species could manage alone. What once took months now took days. Tom's voice carried across the Mars training ground. "Power armor final exam begins now. Human and alien teams, show us what you've learned." The training ground came alive as mixed teams demonstrated their skills. Alien strength enhanced by human precision. Human innovation complemented by alien experience. The suits moved like dancers, each species teaching the other new ways to excel. Dr. Park, watching the demonstration from Venus, smiled inside her medical suit. "They're not laughing anymore," she said to her alien assistant, "but they are learning to smile with us." High above Earth, Colonel Marcus's command suit monitored the solar system. Where once alien ships had come to dominate, now joint patrols kept the peace. Human power armor and alien ships worked as one, protecting all species equally. Final assessment. Marcus reported to the Joint Command. "Operation Steel Giant achieved more than we planned. We didn't just prove our strength. We found a way to make everyone stronger." As the sun set on Mars, Tom watched his students practice. Humans and aliens, each in their power armor, working together to build something new. The aliens had come looking for weakness and found strength. They had come to teach and stayed to learn. And somewhere in the depths of space, other species who might have looked down on weak humans would soon learn the same lesson. Never judge a species by their limits. Judge them by how they overcome those limits. And never, ever underestimate the power of human ingenuity combined with the willingness to share it. The galaxy had changed, and it had changed for the better.